So my question is going to be, where do the tandem of Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott rank among running back duos across the NFL? Because I think you can make a really strong argument that they're second. But this is the year of running the football. It's pretty astonishing. Right now, the Bears lead the league with 188.4 yards rushing per game. That's the third highest rushing average at this point since 1990. And if the Bears can run for 225 yards again in their next game, they'll join the 1976 Pittsburgh Steelers as the only team in the modern era to run for 225 plus yards in consecutive games. Now, to go along with that, 2022, highest yard per carry, 4.54 yards since week 8, since 1970. So this is the highest per carry average we've seen in 52 seasons. The amount of rushing yards per game is the highest it's been in 25 seasons. 35 seasons. So again and again and again, you see that this is the year of running the ball. So my question is, do the Cowboys have the two guys that put you towards the front of the pack? Because there's only one tandem that I can actively think of that I believe I would rank above Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. And it is Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Though for the record, I am not going to use the nickname that some people have suggested. But
Hunt and Chubb?
I mean, that's a lot better than the other one, which I definitely would not want to say.
Chubb and Hunt?
So some of my candidates are the Browns with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. The Patriots with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. The Bears with Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery. The Packers with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Now, one of the things is I didn't count, like the Ravens are a little tricky, as are the Eagles. If you want to factor in Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, that changes the conversation just a little bit. But Tony Pollard is the second highest rush per carry person in the league right now for folks who have at least 75 yards. So with all that in mind, where do you think you would put Pollard and Zeke in the running back combo hierarchy?
Yeah, top 5.
Okay.
I know you want me to be really specific here, but yes, I would rather have Cleveland because they have the best running back by far out of the 4 guys.
I think that is fair. And by the way, I've got numbers for that if you're interested.
I personally, it doesn't mean they're having more success.
Sure.
When I watch Green Bay, I kind of like the Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon combination a little bit better because Zeke is solid. He's a grinder, but I think Aaron Jones and Dillon are both better than Zeke. And I think Pollard's in their category.
Okay.
So I would rather have the two guys that I think, I think Aaron Jones, maybe it's just because of experience, he's been there more. I think he's the best out of the 4, even though Pollard's making a case for being the best. And then Dillon, I think because he's younger and less wear and tear, is better than Zeke. But I don't want this to be a shot at Zeke. I think the Cowboys have arguably, to your point, the second or third best combination of guys.
Now, there's one specific spot where the Green Bay tandem falls short. Although you heard in one of those post games, it's not necessarily their fault, is Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon combined for 930 yards rushing thus far this year. Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott have 949 yards. So, pretty darn equivalent.
Right.
The difference is those two have 2 touchdowns rushing, and Pollard and Zeke have 9. But again, is that a byproduct of the Cowboys are just better? Is it a byproduct of the Cowboys are a better team? Or is it a byproduct of Aaron Rodgers like, the hell with you guys, I'm going to throw for a touchdown pass?
Yeah, I don't know because
Jones and Dillon think it's a third one.
On Sunday night, he said, the hell with passing. We're handing the ball off. I don't care if we're down by 17 points.
That is...
we're not going to pass the ball successfully, so I'm just going to hand it off almost every... It's just amazing to me. I'm like, wow, Aaron Rodgers has conceded to passing doesn't work with this team.
And somebody, that is a weird deal. And somebody brought this up. I did not factor it in like this, but this is a fair point. The best running duo in the league is Lamar Jackson's left leg and Lamar Jackson's right leg. Now, I told you Tony Pollard's second in the league in rushing at 6.25 yards per carry. First is Lamar Jackson at 7.37 yards per carry. That is astonishing. He is more than a yard ahead of his closest competitor when it comes to rushing.
I'm surprised there's other guys averaging as many yards as Tony Pollard, and they're not combo guys. Well, I guess Khalil Herbert is. But Travis Etienne is also averaging 6.2.
He is.
Averaging over 5 yards per carry is freaking, studly. And I just didn't think there were other guys averaging 6 yards a carry.
Well, and one of the things is, and that kind of goes into what we were kicking off with, is 4.54 yards is the average now this season. And so, I think that makes a big difference. Yeah. Now, somebody brings this up, and this is an intriguing hypothesis because this move just got made. The combination of Jeff Wilson Jr., and Christian McCaffrey. Because when you factor that in now, I would certainly be willing to listen to that because Jeff Wilson Jr. has had a really good season. And obviously, you know how good Christian McCaffrey is. And so if you want to factor that in, I think that is probably fair. I think I would take...
But how do you do that when he's not on the team anymore? Jeff Wilson Jr. got traded to the Dolphins.
So I guess then would you say Debo is the guy that you would sub in, but he's more of a wide receiver?
Yeah, I can't call him a running back.
All right, so then...
If you're going to run the ball 3 to 4 times a game, you're not combo running, because I'll go find Derrick Henry's guy who's running the ball twice a game. And be like, well, I guess I'll take Derrick Henry and that guy because I have, arguably the best running back in the NFL with the other guy who runs the ball 3 times a game.
And so that's a thing. So while the 49ers run game is effective, it's probably not that's probably not a combination you're going to go with. So I still think I would put them at second or third. Now,
that's why it's a combo here. Now let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Would you rather have in the future, because this combination's getting broken up, most likely Zeke's done. After this year, Zeke's not a Cowboy anymore. Would you rather have in the future one premium running back, very much like Tennessee has?
Yeah.
Indy had it last year, and obviously that went away quickly. Would you rather have one premium guy for the next 4 to 5 years, or would you rather have a combo of there's 25 carries and there's a shared aspect of 15 and 10 or 13 and 12 situation?
I think I really would rather have the combo because of the person that you made reference to in Jonathan Taylor. We talked about this maybe last week.
Or McCaffrey, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that went away in a hurry. Hey, he's great. No, not anymore.
And then you still see flashes of his
Saquon
greatness.
Barkley's great. Well, I guess he is right now until he gets hurt again.
And so I think that's why. But I thought Jonathan Taylor, who had no track record of injuries, I thought he was primed to be the dude. And I know he's still good. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's been hampered by injuries a lot. And for as good as Derrick Henry has bounced back, just got AFC Offensive Player of the Month, it is concerning that he was also hurt a bunch of the time last year. And they sometimes limit him in practice and everything like that. And so that's why I look at the combination of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but even then, are you is that a great combination, or is it one of them carrying the most of the load, and Kareem Hunt's he's solid?
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of trying to look up things here, and it's interesting when I was looking up yards per carry and how bad Najee Harris is. Is Najee Harris a bad running back, or do they have a bad line, or is it because he has a bad quarterback? They just load up on him.
He has had a lot of struggles, to be sure. And on the San Francisco front, somebody brought up, well, what about Elijah Mitchell when he comes back? Well, sure. When I see him come back and we see how the combination works with McCaffrey, there is potential there to be sure. But Elijah Mitchell has been in the league now for 2 years, and he immediately got hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm willing to concede that the combo running back of the 49ers, who both frequently are now showing that maybe they're injury prone, I don't know about that.
I was listening to the G-Bag Nation yesterday. They were having a great conversation on Tony Pollard and how Tony Pollard, after 14 carries, said, "I'm done." Now, I know it might be exaggerated a little bit, and I'd have to go ask. I remember they were talking about the article. I'm sorry I forget exactly where it came from and the person who it came from, but it was a very reputable source. If Tony Pollard literally is telling you, I cannot be more than 15 carries a game. I don't want to be. I can't be. Not going to happen. that kind of lessens his money in the offseason. Because if he's saying that and it's public and it's true, then if you are another team, whether you're, I don't know, a team struggling with running backs, I'd have to look up, Houston obviously has Pierce, who's the good, rookie running back. But I don't know. A team, Miami Dolphins, who just traded for Wilson, if they're looking to even extend more playmakers to Tua T, like, hey, Tony Pollard, but they're like, dude, the guy only wants the ball 10 times a game. How much money do we want to give the ball? Give money to a guy that can only run the ball 10 to max 15 times? Right. What does Tony Pollard and Bijan Robinson look like next year? If you were to take him as the 1-2 combination, would he be more of a guy you want 20 times? You just say, no, you're going back to 2016 Zeke, or you're going, no, what we want is a combo.
I would much, much rather spend the draft capital and go get Bijan Robinson. I really would, than to do any other combination of anything else. That means more than putting Tony Pollard as the lead back and giving him money. I would rather get Bijan Robinson in here because I'm also to the point where I'm fine with just churning
the Zach Wilczek.
Yeah, I really am. I really am fine with just churning the running backs in and being like, hey, thank you for your service. I hope you get paid, and I hope you get paid just not here.
Yeah.